don't show prep. So, so he had no idea.
I just barely make it in.
I'm sure you can tell, but we don't show.
I mean, let's put the cards down on the table here.
Miami Hurricanes, yeah. You know the name already. It's Mercy, ha ha. It's a 6-rig Kane show. Can't forget the name though. Got Jazz, Blue, Vision, DJ, break the game code. Ain't no changing them, ain't no breaking them. Real Portland live from the Hard Rock Stadium. Ball 14 for the orange and green. We see the 6-rig champs. It's more than a dream. This is life on the field. Beyond 100 yards, a hurricane that's never still put a damage to your squad. The 6-rig Kane show. The 6-rig Kane show. The 6 Rings Kane show. You know.
What's wrong with us? Seriously.
What's wrong with us? We're Miami Hurricanes fans.
Welcome to the 6 Rings Kane Show, a show dedicated to Miami Hurricane sports, featuring the legendary Larry Bluestein, Jazz Santana, Vish, and Danny Gillette. Let's go Canes.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the 6 Ring Kane Show, joined here by DJ and Blue. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Doing good. Another week.
Yep. It's Jazz's birthday, so happy birthday to Jazz. He is out celebrating, so he won't be joining us tonight. We gave him the night off. To go celebrate. Shout out to Pimp Down and to Mohamed in the chat. I guess before I will read the You Break Wolf Face just to address one, current event topic. We're not going to really address the Adarius Hayes situation. Obviously, he was involved in an automobile accident and several people passed away in that. He was just released from the hospital. That's the level of detail we know. There's a lot of speculation floating around, but we're not going to really, we never get involved in speculation on a lot less serious matters than that. And so we're just going to not really discuss that at this point. If there is more down the road and it warrants discussion, we'll do that. But right now, that's the extent of what we know. I'll make sure I flash this up there. Happy birthday, Jazz, from Pimp Down. Melissa's in the chat. I told her she could come in the show if she wanted to, but we'll see. We might get a surprise appearance. But, I'll tell you what, one of the more consistent things on the show is our sponsor, You Break Will Fix. And of course, they're a sponsor of today's show as well. Have you ever run over a pothole so hard that it causes your steering wheel to shake? Do you have to constantly keep refilling the air in your tire? If you are, there could be a problem with your wheels, and You Break Wheel Fix is your solution. You Break Wheel Fix is Miami's premier wheel repair and restoration company. They have over 20 years experience, and they offer quick repairs on your wheels. Most cases, they can get you back on the road the same day, but if they can't, they will arrange for a free loaner. And, if you're looking at your wheels like those look a little worn out, I might need to buy new ones. You don't need to do that. You can refinish them, and You Break Wheel Fix will do that in-house. Powder coating, machining, polishing, they'll make them look new. So if you need any kind of work on your wheels, contact marketing staff at 305-748-0112, and make sure you follow them on all socials at You Break Wheel Fix. And if you mention 5 reasons, they will give you 5.5% off your next repair. That's You Break Wheel Fix. Powder coating and wheel repair. Call them at 305-748-0112 or stop by. They're located at 1848 Northeast 143rd Street in North Miami, Florida, and 33181 is the zip code. All right, guys, lot to talk about. First of all, Blue, you mentioned you've been out and about. Do you want to let us know your various travels and kind of camps you've been at?
Yeah. Last week, I 13 schools, 6 days.
up in the northern part of Florida, up Daytona Beach, and had an opportunity to see a couple of kids, young kids. Not very many Miami targets, but, down the road, you never know. Yeah, I was up there. Somebody giving me another award that I didn't really, but I figure
No, we're not going to allow that level of humility to go.
Yeah,
what is the award? What is the award, Mr. Bluestein?
It was for the I don't know, my many contributions to the Florida high school sports thing. It was nice. The dinner was good anyway.
So is this a lifetime achievement award?
I hope not, because that's like that's like when bands get the best of, that means they're breaking up. So I don't.
I don't.
No, it was award of recognition, and I'm in the Hall of Fame of their thing already, so I figured they would refresh what I look like. But it was nice. It was a lot. I didn't really want to go, but the lady who nominated told me that I better be there. So.
Well, congratulations.
So it was in Kissimmee but around that I went to see a lot of football and got an opportunity. And then on this Saturday, I went to see Miami Northwestern. They had a scrimmage. Teddy Bridgewater called like a 4:00 scrimmage, just like a billion people showed, at the school. And I'll tell you what, they are really, really talented. Miami's, I know that they're still after the kid Calvin Russell, the wide receiver, and he's been a big target of theirs. And so that's it. I've been to that and had an opportunity. Actually, I'm UM'd out today. I was on with Alex, and then I was on with another UM thing, and so I'm not going to say the same things that I said today. But and I just finished my show, which was like a 2-hour show. So other than that, I'm keeping really busy, tired. And then I got 2 more weeks of the spring high school practice. This next week is a lot of games. See, they have that down here, as they don't have that at a lot of places, like a full spring with pads, with games. And next week, like for St. Thomas, inter squad, blue gold, they'll probably have 80, 90 college coaches there. So, and I ran into a couple. I ran into Heatherman last week at one of the practices. First time I ever talked to him. Nice guy, intense, but nice guy, just talking about the defense. And he was talking about some of the, just how the spring went. And, he says work in progress. New faces are very challenging because you add things all the time. And just when you teach a bunch of people something, somebody new comes, and then but he says that's, so what June's going to be about for them is evaluation. May's been about evaluation. Then June, they host a bunch of camps on campus. They have lineman camp. They have 7-on-7. And they have special teams camp. So I'll probably make it out to at least one of those, because I go around the state. I go to Florida at FSU and stuff. So that's it. So that's my life in a nutshell. And I heard DJ's going to be at a baseball game.
Potentially. I heard that Vish and Melissa are going to be heading my way in August, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yep, middle of August. Marlins. We're going to go watch the Marlins.
Oh, boy.
The tickets are cheap. I hope
that should be a fun sweep weekend.
I mean, hey, we need it. So
we have no expectations of victory.
None at all.
Congratulations, Blue. I wanted to say that before we continue on here. You deserve every award you get, and I know you're modest, but I'd like to offer my congratulations to you.
Thanks, DJ.
You work harder than you make me tired just hearing all the things that you do, and you definitely push me to be better. So congratulations.
There'll be a day when I won't be able to do them. So that's when I figured, because everybody, that's the first thing. Hey, when are you going to retire? And that would be a death sentence for me. So
yeah,
I'm not a golfer. I don't fish. So this is what I do.
You're doing.
I drive a lot. We went to Buc-ee's. You ever been to Buc-ee's?
I have not been to
No, I have not.
I will tell you that's definitely happy birthday to Jazz. Jazz 41.
41. Wow.
I think.
Where is he?
That's what it said on the Facebook thing. Anyway, is he younger?
No. I went to his 40th birthday party. I mean, I'm the one getting old because I don't remember what year it was. It felt like it was more than a year ago. 41 is probably right, and I'm probably wrong.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, I went to the Buc-ee's, which was good. I like that. It's like a huge store with 100 gas pumps outside, and they have like all the. I mean, if you go in there, you better bring your credit card because there's every other thing you're gonna want. I had one of their famed brisket sandwiches, which was awesome.
Ooh.
Had just come out of the steamer or wherever it was, and I got a bunch of beef jerkies, and yeah. So that's it. And then during the summer, that's the one good thing is I gained 300 pounds during the summer and get a chance to see a lot of things, and I get to see baseball during the summer because the camps are during the day, and then at night I go to like minor league games. Which I
minor league games are the best. If you ever go to this, go up this way. The Cape Cod League up here is really good. So
no expectations after watching the Marlins against the White Sox. No expectations.
So the worst baseball imaginable.
Oh my God! If you got a ticket to that, they
really got to the go.
I swear to you, I said the other day that at the Marlins White Sox game in Chicago, as you come in, they should give you $50.
All right, yeah. A lot of fun stuff. We got some comments on Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
Known for their bathrooms.
I don't know. I didn't use the bathroom, Mel.
It is known for having extremely clean and sanitary bathrooms, especially for a guest.
Okay.
But we actually have some football questions too. So you mentioned you're up in Kissimmee. Are there any targets there? Pimp wants to is thinking about the upcoming season, so maybe some.
Well, other than Darian Jones, they got their kids last year from up there: Wilkerson, Buchanan, Campbell. I don't think they're really recruiting anybody up that way. I'm trying to think, other than Darian. Well, Mills, but I don't know if they're his receiver. No, there aren't a lot of guys. Well, yeah, and I went to Lake Mary and I went to DeLand. And other than Lake Mary's got the kid Noah Grubbs is going to Notre Dame. And I'm just trying to think if there's anybody up in that. No, I don't think so. Not for this next cycle for the 16 class. Maybe for the 17 class. A couple of, I'm putting out our 27 list next week. Our initial 27 list. A lot of I think Miami needs to go after the kid Matthews, the offensive lineman from St. Thomas. He's really nice. He may be the number one player in the state for that cycle. But other than that, let's see. I'm trying to think who else that in that area where you guys were talking. And no, there wasn't many.
Florida, kind of Orlando, Kissimmee. You were up in Kissimmee, so.
Yeah. No, I was in Kissimmee actually for the award. I didn't
get your award, so
I didn't see the. I didn't see any. I guess
to answer Pim's question, other than who Blue has mentioned, stay tuned for next week when the list drops. And
our 27 list will come out. Got a lot of kids, but the 26 list, Miami pretty much. It was last year's when they read the 25, the Campbells, all those guys, Buchanan, the linemen. But Darian Coleman's a big deal, man. I mean, he's a big deal. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the state. So, and he's really, I never seen a guy more locked in to come into Miami than he is.
Yeah. So Pimp, check out Darian Coleman's the answer there. And then Eddie's got a question. I'll throw this to you, DJ, to start with. Thoughts on Jackson Cantwell? I know it looked like we were kind of out on him, but now there's rumors he's
Georgia
might still be in play. But anyway, I'll let DJ chime in first. DJ, thoughts on Jackson
Blue
Cantwell?
said it, Georgia. I mean, and that's a school that you kind of got to worry about. I do think there is a little bit of buzz, and I do think while it may be real, Georgia is a very serious contender. And so, it's kind of there's one of those things where you just wait and see. I mean, obviously, the offensive line has been a staple of, success and has been kind of a cornerstone during Mario Cristobal's tenure here. Obviously, Alex Mirabal has a ton to do with that, but I would never count Miami out of any recruitment, but Georgia is certainly going to present a challenge.
Blue, your thoughts?
He's the deal. I thought he was all Miami, and then all of a sudden, Georgia must have backed up the Brinks truck there. So, he's definitely defines that class in a hurry.
Yeah,
big kid, strong kid, really heavy-handed. He's just you watch him and you can't move him. Defensive lineman, just he reminds me. I'll tell you what, it reminds me of the kid from LSU that just went to the Patriots. In fact,
Will Campbell.
Yeah, that's who he kind of reminds me of.
Yeah,
thickness wise.
Yeah,
and athleticism.
Yeah, he's very sturdy.
Yeah, no, he would be shit.
Yeah,
he'd be a get.
He would
get.
But we're thinking Georgia.
Huh?
Yeah, everyone's thinking Georgia. Though.
Well, you know what? Up until the other day, the only other school that really posed a threat was Oregon. He went out there. One of the guys that I used to cover in high school is the offensive line coach, Leek Terry, who played at Wake Forest. And I called him, and he said that kid's every bit of what they're talking about. And he says he's a very respectful kid too. So I like that.
Yeah, he's very technically sound, very, very good with his feet, doesn't move too much when blocking. And, it's hard to say in our recruitment because any team can swoop in at the last second with some, crazy amount of money, and there you go. But Georgia looks to be the front runner for now.
We got another question. We'll talk about the two kids we did land in a minute, but get this recruiting. We're doing recruiting up front. Switch the order. But we got a question on Bryce Fitzgerald, one state championship basketball, football, and track. What do you think he can do with a later arrival? And TJ Cruz.
He's going to play. He's going to be in the mix. Too valuable. Too athletic. Great. I mean, I watched him the last couple of years. I watched him when he was at Berlin, as a freshman and sophomore, and then followed him over to Columbus. Kid's the deal. He's, especially Miami is looking for depth. They are slowly getting a lot of frontline defensive backs. Corners, they're pretty well set. It'd be safety that they're looking, maybe for a third level type of kid. Bryce is the deal, no doubt. Great athlete. You'll probably end up redshirting if they don't really need him. But in this day and age, a guy like that's only going to be playing for 3 years as it is. So
Yep.
You might as well use him while you can, because that's the type of guy who'll probably develop into an NFL type kid down the line. He's a whole different level type of kid. Somebody that will fit this program very well. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring to the table. And Miami's done well with Columbus kids over the last couple of the go-arounds. So
Miami's done well at the safety position over the last couple of years too. So
that
helps too.
Sly.
Well, I mean, Zaquan is Oklahoma State, right? That's where he ended up.
Yeah, I wasn't really adding him into that equation, but yeah,
you got to do the full evaluation, man. You can't skip the screw ups. So.
Yeah. Besides Zaquan, I guess.
All right, we're going to talk about Keionte and Mohamed in a second, but first, Melissa did join us. I'm going to let her in, and then we'll talk about a couple of kids that came to land in the portal this week. Oh no, you got to go over here.
Hey, what's up, Melissa?
What up? I had to come on because I had to show off that Blue's on the board now.
Oh, okay. There I am.
I'll probably get on the board this summer, maybe.
You will. But I moved people around so Blue would have a prime spot.
Well, thanks, Mel. I appreciate you.
Anywhere. He had to be
see you later.
So
I appreciate that you did that.
For the top two as well when we get our picture.
Okay. All right. I like it.
Okay, that's pretty good. So, what do you think about the new pickups?
Yeah, let's start with Keionte Scott. I'll let Melissa get situated. Maybe DJ, you can go first on that. He's the DB out of Houston.
Yep. No, I like him a lot. I think he's a very physical type of player. He can come down and make tackles, and I feel like he fits the identity of the secondary really well. One of the things that has kind of been apparent ever since Heatherman got here was that he wants physical players who aren't afraid to get after it and play a rugged style of defense, a defense that wants to make the opponents work. And I think Scott definitely fits that mold. And we talked about the cornerback depth that they've added this spring. You can never have too much depth, especially at corner, given the struggles last year. So it's another proven guy with great tackling ability and a guy that you can kind of just plug and play if you need to.
Melissa, you have thoughts on Keionte Scott?
I ditto DJ's thoughts, and yeah, I don't think we could ever have enough people in the secondary. So, especially after last year, so the more the merrier, in my opinion.
Yeah, I will say, and I'll get your take on this too, but I'm a little surprised how aggressively I know we need to plug some gaps at corner and safety, but it seems to be like we are heavy there now. I know a couple of weeks ago, this might have been a month ago at this point, we talked about whether these were kind of need positions or nice to haves, and we all kind of agreed nice to haves, and yet they, went and got the safety from Tennessee and now a corner from Houston. So, Blue, what are your thoughts, I guess, overall on how you think the secondary is shaping up and how you feel Keionte Scott might
Night and day, man. You look at that secondary now as opposed to last year, and you know what? That secondary cost us a lot.
Trip to Charlotte.
A playoff spot for sure.
Way too many games.
Yeah, it's we're on a year like you said, Vish, where you had arguably one of the most productive offenses in the history of the program. Defense continued to crap the bed, and yeah. So yes, he adds a lot to it. Physical guy, a lot of experience, big game guy. And he's just, and I'm of the belief of productivity kind of lights fires. And if you do well, you could be all the 6'2", 230-pounders you want, but if you can't play, they can't. But these kids could all play that they brought in. We already got a chance to see Poyser and Brantley and Lucas. And there was no other way to patch up that defensive unit than to just make sure that secondary was intact. And the days of hoping that a Darryl Porter Jr. was going to be healthy or, it's no. This is a whole different ball game now. This will elevate pretty much as far as depth too, the strength of that defense, because up front, you got some really good kids, but after four guys, you still have some untested guys. I'm just, I know people get mad at me. I know on Alex's Locked on Canes, they got mad at me because I just am not going to be a Carson Beck fan until he damn does something. Hadn't done anything here, and not being in the spring. And I said that, and now everybody hates me. So,
you're not the only one on the show that thinks that. I've been.
So I don't. But I'm here to give an honest opinion.
Yeah,
somebody who sees these kids and.
People, I watch other shows and people, and they're like, "Oh, what position group are you worried about the most?" And everyone's saying this or that, and I'm just like, quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm like, he didn't get to play in spring. Yeah, he was good 2 seasons ago. He's
when he had Bauer and when he had Ladd McConkey.
Yeah. And, he's definitely better than the options that we had prior to him coming in, but it's obviously still a concern. But again, getting back to the secondary, Mario's proven,
I'm sorry. I derailed you.
Real quick, I just wanted to make a point. Mario's proven when we have a deficiency, that next offseason, he doesn't ignore it. The turnaround we saw from last season to this season, on paper anyway, with the secondary. I wouldn't be shocked if we see that with another certain position group next offseason.
Like what, kicker?
Listen, kicker, we're never going to be satisfied. I mean, we had 5
Not
years
anymore.
with Dallas.
All right, I'm going to be a positive contrarian on both of these points. So Carson Beck has quarterbacked Georgia to the SEC championship twice. And
I could have done that with those defenses, Vish. Come on.
Yes, but he's 2 SEC championships. We can't even make the I think
the concern more is the injury.
The concern might be the injury. Run the football. I'm going to beat that to death. Like, that's not him that's going to choose to not run the football if that becomes a problem. This is a player who's played in and won a lot of big games. Even last year when they lost to, at Alabama, I mean, it was their defense, right? If we're gonna give the defense credit for the SEC championships, then giving up like 100 points in the first half of that game is on them too. So I don't know exactly what our expectation is of players coming in. I know Cam Ward has set an unrealistic standard, but you tell me you give someone that's won the SEC multiple times in here, I don't know what we're complaining about or worried about. Like, it's college. You're not going to get Patrick Mahomes. Like, you're going to get what you get. And Patrick Mahomes wasn't Patrick Mahomes in college. No, I guess my point is, if you look at the college, and I know, Melissa, I know you said, compared to what else we had, yes, he's better than I can't complete a pass against Iowa State, of course. But when we're talking about across college football, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the country, period. I'm happy with that. I'm not worried about it. He's proven on this level to be excellent over a long period of time. I'll take that. Shout out Martin. Martin's in, I believe, Botswana. I hope I didn't get the wrong country in Africa, but that's one of our longtime fans. Pops into several of our shows. Shout out to Martin. That's why he threw a good morning at us. He is in a different time zone entirely, but thanks, Martin, for joining us. All right, the other big addition was that linebacker Mohamed Toure.
Yep.
Let's see. Last time we start with DJ. We'll go the other way around. Blue, what are your thoughts on Mohamed Toure?
Last year hurt. 2 years ago, beast. He's a physical guy. He plays sideline to sideline. He's a terror. He's a potential high-round draft pick. He stays healthy, and he's going to be huge. But that's to say anybody is got to stay healthy. So I'm not going to put that on him. I'm just going on the fact that last year he didn't play. But the year before he did, and arguably one of the best linebackers in the Big Ten.
Yep.
I think that he comes here and, like I said, if he has a solid year along with what else Miami has, I like him a lot. He's a guy that knows Heatherman from when he first started playing. Heatherman was I believe, on the staff at Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
It's that Greg Schiano tree that produces some pretty good defensive people. So that's my deal. Hey,
you think that played a role in it then, that level of comfort that he had the previous, like, for both of them, because you said coming off an injury, I'm sure Tory need to be comfortable with his coaches, and obviously has history there.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, I watched this guy play 2 years ago, and he was all over the field for Rutgers. And Greg Schiano has always been a very disciplined coach, a very technically sound coach, much like PJ Fleck was from Minnesota, who Heatherman also worked under. When healthy, like Blue said, he's a beast. But he's had a couple injuries now, so I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to get out of him. But he fits the defensive scheme and the defensive identity that Heatherman wants very well, and that previous experience definitely helps. It's a low risk, high reward addition.
Does anyone know? Did he play against us in the bowl game 2 years ago?
I'm sorry, what?
Did he play against us in the bowl game 2 years ago?
Remember yes, he did. Yes, he did. Had a good game too.
8 tackles and a sack.
Nice. I just remember the clock management at the end. And
yeah.
I promise. Let's see your thoughts on Tory.
I mean, you obviously you guys addressed the concern about him staying healthy. Anybody has that concern with anybody. I think it's more of how is he bouncing back from the injury? How did he recover? He basically didn't play at all last season, so shaking off the rust. But if he can get back to what he was the year before, then that nicely solidifies the linebacker room. That's for sure.
So I'll start with you on this, Melissa, since you've been going last on these conversations. Do you think he's a starting? Do you think he's a starting linebacker? Is he the starting linebacker on this team against Notre Dame?
If he plays like he did before the injury, I don't know that you could keep him on the sideline.
So it's him and Wes, you think?
Yeah, but I think that Popo has really made.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking because Popo's been making a lot of strides, and last year
a lot of strides.
He was banged up a lot.
Might be Wes will be on the bench.
Yeah. But this is
Wes
me.
has gotta
I just hopped on. So
no show prep is our brand. You're a lead again. What about you, DJ? Do you think so? I guess let me expand the question again. Who do you see as our starting linebackers?
Ooh, that's tough because I don't know if you want to put Wes on the bench, but Popo and Toure sounds like a good 1-2 if Toure's healthy. So I think it's a kind of mix and match situation, but for now I could see a situation where it goes Popo and Toure, and again, it's all dependent on his health, which, if he is slow or, he's not up to 100% or whatever, you can just slide Wes in there and still have a pretty damn good linebacker room.
And you'll have those 3 weeks when they start practicing up until the opening game. So, and they're going to probably have two, maybe 3 scrimmages in that time. One of the scrimmages probably in the middle, I'll kind of like let them fly and let them do what they do. So I think that'll be an indicator too, as well.
Yeah, good point.
So is he fully healthy now, though?
No, he's like 85 to 90%.
Okay. But he could play game today. He could play.
He could play, yeah.
I mean, he's got the whole summer, so.
It could be like Corey Flagg, but I mean, what the heck? I mean, it's.
That's the reason we beat Clemson, so.
Could have used him last year. Really good.
Oh, you could always get Vish laughing when you mention Corey Flagg.
Well, I mean, for there's certainly some shortcomings there, but man, there was a Corey Flagg-sized hole in the linebacking crew last year when Maui Noah was left to his own devices. So
yeah, really.
Yeah.
Corey would have been a star on that linebacking core last year. Holy mackerel!
Well, there's something to be said for being in the right place on the field. So.
Left to his own devices. That's funny. I like that.
I feel like we're going to have a massive influx of linebackers next offseason. Like every year there's a different, like I said, like how we did with corners in the secondary this offseason. I feel like linebacker and probably offensive lineman since we're losing the whole line. But yeah.
Yeah. Well,
actually, Mark,
the offensive line, like we were talking, that's by far the strongest part of this team. By far. It's not even close. You got 2 first-round draft picks on there. And if Bell does well.
Between the offensive line, the running back room, we need to run the football a lot. That protects the defense as well.
If I see more than 2 wide receiver screens a game, I'm going to punch the wall.
Well, get yourself ready to do it. You still got the same offensive coordinator.
They tried to sit next to me at most of the football games this past season, and I'm like, it's time for a wide receiver screen. It's time for
maybe it'll work this year. We're the only team that appears to be incapable of executing it, so maybe they'll fix that.
Well, maybe they'll use a Malachi Tony screen, and it'll turn into 90 yards, and then we won't say anything.
It was all a setup for that diamond formation so Jacoby George could get that touchdown. I forgot what team we were playing. Was it Duke?
Duke. It was Duke.
When they were looking so bad at halftime.
I just hope to see a lack of a Heisman push that causes us to throw from the 2-yard line in an effort to get a touchdown pass.
I don't think that caused us any issues, though.
I mean, there were times when first and second down. They were trying to throw it in the end zone to get that touchdown pass.
Yeah, but that didn't lose us any games.
It didn't lose any games, but it was annoying as hell. Just run the football.
Listen, the best part of last season was I broke my road game losing streak. So I have no
Where'd you
longer.
break it at? Cal,
right?
Cal.
Yeah. 9 time zones away, and then from 90 points down.
For 3 quarters. And
Fortunately,
was like, "Oh, we could still win this. There's plenty of time."
Fortunately, yeah, some of us were a little bit more mentally stable there, but
I was gonna say, you know what? It took all the way 1,000 time zones and 90 points down to do it, but you did it.
well,
Yeah.
fly all the way out there. At least wait to lose the game before complaining about it.
You know what my only other road win was? My only other road win was 2019 at Pitt. Remember,
Wow.
and Coach Perry and Jaron Williams.
Jaron Williams came in. Yeah.
Jaron Williams came in the 4th and threw that touchdown pass to KJ Osborne.
Jaron Williams. What a name.
Jaron Williams, was he still? He still holds the record for touchdowns in a game.
Yeah.
I was there
Louisville game.
against Louisville.
That Louisville game that lost to FIU the next week, and
Yeah, right.
you can say it was the beginning of the end
He didn't even play
for
that.
Danny Diaz.
He did that, and he didn't play most of the 4th quarter
Yeah,
because we were winning by so much.
that was the beginning of the end for Manny Diaz right there. That game. Actually, back on a little bit more happier times and current times, but actually maybe not happier. So I'll throw this out to the room. Anyone wants to tape this, but we have actually recruited well at linebacker. I think it means multiple 4 stars. We've recruited a linebacker.
Yeah.
Why have we not really been able to develop? Because even Maui, we can talk about the good and bad, but he was also a transfer in as well. Like we have not, developed that room. Like there's no home. I mean, Wes was one of our recruits, but I would say at the very least, you can say he hasn't kind of reached the heights we expected. He was my favorite recruit in that class. I was like, this guy's gonna be a star, and he just hasn't. So I don't know if anyone
Brian outgrew the position, so
yeah.
We've
But,
also had
does anyone want to take
multiple
this
linebacker
question?
coaches. We've had multiple linebacker coaches since Mario's been here.
That too. I mean, there hasn't.
Because it was Charlie Strong first, and then D-Nick, and now we're on our 3rd? Because Heatherman's coaching the linebackers.
Yeah, I think the lack of consistency has definitely hindered development. But I do think there's something to be said about these players not necessarily living up to their potential. But maybe that changes this year. But it seems like even since we started the show 5 years ago, we've been talking about the linebacker room for forever.
Is it 5 years ago?
Yeah, 2020.
I do remember doing the post UNC ran for 8,000 yards.
Yep.
So that was definitely COVID here.
Yep.
Thank God I didn't follow Kane's YouTube back then.
GJ and I have some trauma, man. We've done some post.
I've seen this through some tough times. It's like the old buddy that
together on some of these tough post game shows.
Yeah.
I worked in healthcare. 2020 was bad enough. I didn't need.
Middle Tennessee State is one that we will never. Never forget that post game show. Blue and Jazz were at the game, so they did not join us. It was just DJ and I trying to explain what happened.
Yeah, and even we didn't have words, and I love to talk.
Explain that. There's no explaining that. The last time we did a post game show with Syracuse last year. Some things don't change.
I mean, hey, you know what? You had to vent. This is what we're here for, and
Yeah. Well, hopefully we're doing post championship victory stuff. Let's get some kind of a trophy this year. ACC,
I hope
maybe.
so.
Well, next year's post game show will fit right in on our Monday night to open it up, since it's a Sunday night game. So
True, yeah.
It'll fit right in on a Monday.
It's gonna be a good one too, I think.
Well, hopefully it's as competitive as the last time we played them at home. I would take that. I don't need a good game.
And it'll be the first season. Vish's whole crew has moved to my section of Hard Rock Stadium. So I mean, we were sitting together anyway, but now it's official. So hopefully that's good luck.
The kids got too big to sneak them through security and say they were under 2, so we had to buy them tickets.
Bummer.
It's like this big group of 16, except there's 2 seats that
There's 2 people randomly sitting in the middle of us. They're totally regret their life decisions.
2 people, whoever they are, I'm so sorry in advance.
Do you guys get alumni discount on the seats or no?
No.
No, there's no more alumni discount. And we couldn't even get the parking lot that we wanted. It's sold out. So we're in a new lot this year.
Seems like parking is always a problem. I don't follow closely enough.
At least you're close to the stadium. They parked me at Walmart, so it's damn. Takes me forever to get in there.
Well, we'll see. It seems like they move the media parking around every year, so we'll see where that lands.
The lot we want is the most popular lot because it's the only lot where you can park wherever you want. And you don't
The
get
blue lot?
Green. Green is the only non-directed lot. So
it
was available that morning, but Vish waited for me so we could get the same lot, and it was sold out by the time it hit my time. So
all right. So
we'll be in blue this year. Like blue.
Yeah. I'll be in purple.
I don't know. Last year they gave Jazz and I blue, and they gave you purple. So maybe you'll get blue.
Yeah. All I know is I think I'm gonna apply with somebody else this year.
If blue hit up our tailgate, we'd be the most popular tailgate in blue lot.
Nah, bull. I tried to get there that one time, but then the band and everybody.
Well, at least this year we'll be on the side of the stadium as the media entrance, so you can.
Oh, okay.
I gotta get down there. Maybe November or even late October.
Yes. We gotta get a whole group picture because I have one of 4 of us. We're gonna Photoshop you in, DJ.
We don't need to Photoshop.
Nice.
DJ.
Just stick your head like right there.
There you go. I'll take it. Hey,
you better coming down for the spring game.
Spring game would be cool.
It's warmer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too hot.
It's too hot.
For what? So
I got burnt, even with sunscreen on.
It was hot.
Definitely hot.
So that's it. When are you guys doing are you doing buckets this week?
We're doing buckets, but actually Melissa and I are going to do baseball right after this.
I'm gonna attempt to fill in for Jazz tonight.
Canes had a slight setback last weekend, so yeah.
Did you go to those games? They were right there.
No, I was in Dallas.
Okay.
Fortunate. I guess good.
He was attending a bat mitzvah.
Yeah, I was at a bat
mitzvah. Oh boy,
that
must have been good.
One of us blew.
Yeah, so I missed the Canes getting swept in Charlottesville. I actually watched them get swept in Charlottesville 2 years ago, so I could have made it a tradition. But
it's not like they lost to a bad team. Virginia's going to be one of the top seeds. So.
No, they're on the bubble.
Yeah,
they're only on the bubble because they beat us. We're actually significantly better. Just got swept anyway.
Hey Vish, congrats to your Mavericks on winning the lottery.
Yeah,
you know, it's a little bittersweet because Nico Harrison deserves none of this, and now.
Although I think he might have been right about Luka, honestly.
No, he's not.
I think it's the first time, if I read the stat correctly, it's the first time a city has gotten the first pick in both the NBA and WNBA draft.
WNBA draft, yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
I'm waiting on my Paige Becker's jersey.
Yeah.
Fanatics.
So that could
all
take.
Right, well.
Wait, are we doing show and tell? I'm never on here for show and tell.
Is there anything else we want to talk on actual football before we go to show and tell? Or?
I'm ready for show and tell.
All right. So you're ready for show and
I
tell?
already previewed the show and tell this morning on the Alex Donald
Technology.
show.
We're taking you back to the
We're taking you back to the 80 season, the 81 Peach Bowl.
Oh wow!
How about that for a media guide?
That's awesome. They don't make
our time.
Huh? Damn. Yep, that's what it is right there. The Peach Bowl 1981 media guide.
Who did the
very unique? It won all type of awards. It's got the
oh wait, hold on. I gotta go
Howard
back.
Schnellenberger photo.
Oh,
Wait a minute, I'm turning pages. Like I'm a 8-year-old teaching 8-year-old kids.
That's cool.
That is cool. They don't make media guides like
how
that.
they made that. I'm like, hold on a second. I have.
They send you a PDF now.
Yeah.
Wait, I got what Earl. Look who are coaching back there. Earl Morrill and everything.
Good guy.
Crazy, but that's it. I think this was a good one.
Yeah.
Cool.
This was the 81 schedule coming up.
Who was the opponent in the game?
I think Virginia Tech, wasn't it?
Wait, that was the 80 season. What was our record? Vish,
Vish always looks.
I'm looking.
I don't necessarily catch the show live all the time because I usually work every other Mondays, but it's when I get home from work and it usually takes me about 30 minutes to get ready for bed and stuff. I always listen to the show. So
Yeah.
So do we put you to sleep? That's
no,
not good.
it's when I'm getting ready.
Okay. I'm gonna say if we put you to sleep, then
I take a shower, I do all those things, and then.
So the record was 9-3. Losses were at Notre Dame, at Penn State, and then a very disappointing disappointing loss at home against Mississippi State. Oof, that one.
Yeah, I was at that
Penn
game.
State, I can understand, but
that was not good.
So
Florida State?
Beat Florida State and Florida.
Good stuff. State champs.
And Florida A&M, so throw that one in there. And then won the Peach Bowl 20-10. Starting a long history of beating Virginia Tech. So, yeah, it was a good season.
Was that right?
I don't know if that was the first game, but did win the game, yes.
My first bowl game as a student at Miami, we won the Peach Bowl against Florida. Thank you, Brock Berlin.
Then the 81 schedule was Florida, Houston, Texas, Vandy, Mississippi State, East Carolina, Penn State, FSU, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and Notre Dame.
That's a schedule.
Yep, 9-2 on that one. I guess we didn't play in a bowl game for some reason. It's not
listed. 81?
Yeah, it's not listed.
So 82, you weren't in a bowl game?
No, the 1981 season, yeah, for the 82 bowl game. Doesn't look like there was one listed. Lost it.
What were they suspended? What were they?
I don't know. It's not explained. Finished ranked 8th in the country. So,
All right.
I don't know why there's no bowl game listed on the page here. Maybe it's wrong. I don't know.
I previewed on the Alex Dono thing this morning, and somebody wanted to buy it from me. So,
well, you know what? Tell Dono to stop stealing our bit. He's got enough
You
content.
gotta get your basketball merch together so we can get you on the show this offseason on Buc-ee.
They didn't meet the defined criteria
I got lots
for
of
bowl eligibility.
basketball stuff.
Oh, is that what it says?
Yeah, they didn't meet the defined criteria for bowl eligibility. While 9-2 is a respectable record, the bowl game systems of the time prioritized teams with better records or those that met specific conference or playoff requirements. Hold on, I got this whole thing right here. It says
the requirements 9-2.
in blah blah teams with better records, especially those from stronger conferences or those that had won playoff games, were often given priority for bowl game invitations. And then it said for the bowl game eligibility in the 1980s, bowl game invitations were not solely based on record. Factors like conference standings, playoff participation, and the perceived strength of the team also played a role.
Were we independent?
Yeah, they're 9-2 today. They're on New Year's Day.
Yeah, we were independent, but so were a lot. Like Florida State still was. A lot of teams were. So that's still odd that made it as independent 8-3 the previous year and made the bowl game. But
they hated us because they ain't us.
I don't think anyone hated us then. We were a non-entity.
Bert, yeah.
10 years later, they hated us, but they had to keep us, put us in because we're better than everyone else. But that was weird.
That was it. So next,
yeah,
definitely when I do come on buckets, I'll have a bunch of memorabilia.
You'll have to think deeply on the chicken sandwich debate.
Look at that.
He's already weighed in though. He's pulled a Katie Meyer and gone off the board. He's a Church's man.
Well, for the first time, we have the same name under both categories because we had Dante Allen on.
He's opting out of that answer just like Katie did. He's saying he went with Church's. He went off the board just like she said Bojangles. Like,
no, Dante Allen picked both.
Yeah, you can pick both, but Blue has thrown his lot in with Church's.
Oh yeah. Church's.
So anyway, so just for everyone coming up on the network this week, well, we got Canes on deck. Max, Bliss, and I'll talk baseball. It is the last weekend of the season, hosting Notre Dame this weekend. It's a Thursday through Saturday, and the ACC tournament the week after that. And
Thursday, $4 beers.
Are they doing that this week too? All right, $4 beers, $2 hot dogs too. They're doing that promotion. Yeah. $2 hot dogs, $4 beers at the park. Head out to Markley Field. And then next week, ACC tournament. Week after that, NCAA tournament, which the Canes are going to be in, shockingly, after basically not losing in the month of April and coming through there. And then tomorrow I got hit in the Apex previewing Imola, first race in Europe this year. And then Wednesday, Melissa, why don't you tell what we got?
Wednesday we got buckets. Well, actually, Wednesday on the Flow Network, I will be on Flow's show at 8:30 talking hoops, and then at 9:30 buckets on this network. We're having one of our newest transfer portal editions, Emirachi. I hope I'm saying that right. Kimson from UNLV.
Wow, look at you.
We'll be on, so definitely check that out. So it'll be a double dose of hoops on the Flow Network, and then on 5 Region Sports on buckets.
Telling you.
Yeah,
You're bitching about promoting Dono. You're promoting Flow.
Well, I'm
she's
going to be
promoting
on
herself, and she's very good at self-promotion. So,
and if you head over to aboutthefans.com and use code HG10, you can get a Hoodie Girl hoodie.
Anyway,
Are you going to any of the baseball games, Fish?
Yeah, I'll be in there for all 3.
I'll be there Saturday.
Okay.
I work Thursday and Friday night, so.
Yeah,
you work late?
Till 3 a.m.
She works nights.
Damn.
She doesn't work during the day. She works at night. So if she's working, it means during stuff.
I'll be sleeping. So, yeah.
Me and DJ are gonna finally meet in August.
Yeah.
Kirk. I'm very excited.
I don't think DJ's met any of us. So
save the best for last, DJ.
Oh yeah, I am definitely someone to aspire to be the best for last. That's for sure.
And I did see last week a rocket launch from 4 miles away at night.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you something. That's pretty neat. From 4 miles away, the glow, and you don't hear anything for 5 minutes, and then you hear when it disappears. That's when you hear all the booms and the sounds.
Nice.
Did the ground shake?
Yeah, it did. It was. I was right across like the river from where it went off, and Coco.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen space shuttles, but never at night and that close before.
We need a biography of your life, Blue.
No, you don't. It's over.
I mean, I don't
think it's over.
Definitely not over, but hard to top the O.J. Simpson story. If you haven't seen that, go find it on this feed.
Yeah, that's
Blue getting into a car with O.J. Simpson and Al Cowlings
and Haven Moses
to go meet with a bunch of Steelers right before they won the Super Bowl.
That's it. I'm telling you, I got to dig my autographs out to show you guys.
Stay tuned for a show in the offseason on buckets. We're gonna get Blue story time.
Okay, I got some Rick Barry stories from back in the day.
I mean, those are
Kevin Presto stories.
Story I hear is not a pleasant one, but anyway.
All right.
Anyway, we'll be back next week, of course. Football show weekly at 8:30. Stay tuned on this network for Canes on Deck. We're going to talk the end of the season for the Canes baseball team. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see y'all next week.
The 6 Rig Kane Show. Yeah. The 6 Rig Kane Show. Yeah. The 6 Rings Kane Show. You know.